Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to a live episode of our podcast. This is our weekly live. This is our weekly live update. This is week number 22. Two ducks in a row. Isn't that the bingos? The bingo, 2 ducks in a row. B22. Spent a lot of time on cruise ships listening to bingo. Is there any other bingos? This is Viente Dos.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. All right, so this is week 22 live update. First thing, our YouTube. Is it now? Are they views? This is
they are views.
Yeah, it's almost at 4,000 views.
Yeehaw!
Unbelievable.
Thank you, Pat, for always sending us those stats before this video.
Yes, thank you, Pat. Yes, and our podcast is downloaded over 9,000 times. And I did the math. We're at just shy of 70 downloads a day on average.
On average, okay.
That's 70 more than I thought we would have.
I did quicker math, and that was like it was like 1,000 likes or listens a week between YouTube and podcasts. Yeah.
That's
and that doesn't even count the other places that we put it. The only places that we're tracking it is the easy ones where they give us the metrics.
Exactly. Who knows what's happening on all the other platforms?
Yeah. So we're super excited that we're providing value.
Yes, thank you. And I'm glad that you are enjoying it, or at least I hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. So another thing, so this week is, let me actually say a couple things. I forgot to put this on here, so I'm just going to wing it. Asset management. We had talked about that very recently, and I think it's already launched, that particular episode.
Okay.
And Tina is our asset manager for the Serena Gordon apartments, and that's the 48 unit that we bought in Hamilton, Ohio, that we just recently closed on. Now, you notice that we are now telling you the name of the apartments. We are now telling you where they're located, and we couldn't before because it was a 506B. So we had to just generally say 48 units, can't tell you anything else because you're not in our investor club. So it has to be that substantive relationship. So that's why sometimes you're going to hear us give you details versus not. It's based on the structure of the fund that we are creating or the syndication that we're creating. 506B is Buddy. You have to know us to get the info. C is advertising. We could have, if we would have structured it that way, we could have talked about it.
Right. And this also leads up to at the end of every episode, I always tell people, go to our website. Join the investor club.
That's right.
This is where you're going to find that information out before we make it public anyway.
Yes. So the reason I meant to actually put it on this week's episode because I've been seeing the emails. Usually I'm the chief decision maker. People ask me what needs to happen on the apartments, and I was like, I can't juggle everything that we're trying to do and do that too now that we've got 2 apartment complexes here in our backyard where we're responsible for the operations, the renovations, the asset management, everything.
Right.
So ultimately, Tina stepped into that role. I'm watching these emails between the property manager and Tina go back and forth, and one of them was yesterday was Chris with a K because we have Chris with a C.
Too many Chris's. Yeah.
Anyways, Chris with a K message, and she said, hey, just want to let you know the crews are ahead of schedule, and so I'm posting notices on these 3 doors to see if they want to move into the renovated units, and I'm just going, ahead of schedule! We just started! It was so cool, and she's on top of it. She's got the notices out. Change of management went out just immediately. I'm in love just watching this interaction and not having to be a part of it, so I just wanted to throw that out there. Way to go, Tina! Okay, so.
And if you haven't seen it, I'm the little video of Michael Jackson just eating the popcorn.
Yes, that's right. And then the other thing is asset protection. I want to let you talk about this a little bit because we had said we went and met with somebody for a whole day. And go ahead, I'll let you.
Well, so we spent a whole day and I was drinking from the fire hose.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we learned that day was that there are every state has different rules and different laws.
Yeah.
And there are states, so say for example you get sued, right, and they go after your house and they forcefully sell your house. Some states will allow you to get, there's a maximum amount of money that you can get out of that sale.
Yeah.
So, your house could be worth, $500,000 and they're suing you for $200,000. You're not going to get that, in between. You're going to get what the state says is the maximum. And some states are this, and some states are piquito.
Yeah.
I know that in Spanish too. Piquito. And so it's very, very interesting to learn, how each states are so drastically different.
Yes.
Just in that alone. We also learned about bank accounts. Some bank accounts in some states can protect you.
Yep.
And just the different ways on how to protect our businesses. Mm-hmm. It's way too much to go into in the little bit of time that we have for this podcast, this episode. But
we've been diving into it hard this week, and we've made tons and tons of notes. We're actually holding some other meetings with people who know this kind of stuff too, and just going back and forth with them and looking at what are the gaps that we need and any red flags that we haven't asked. Especially the questions that you don't know to ask, right? So we're meeting with multiple people about that, and these are things that we're going to be sharing with you guys eventually. We're probably going to put it together as like a course that's likely going to be free, and if it's not free, it's going to be like really, really, really super ridiculous, stupid cheap. Yeah. It's probably going to be free. Right. But we're going to put this stuff together to start sharing the information with the investors in our investor club so that you guys can start learning. Because one of the things is we learned also is how to catapult our wealth. Mm-hmm. Like just put it on steroids. And so we're going to be passing that knowledge on because we want the investors that are investing with us in all of our deals to be able to do exactly what we are doing and what we're learning based on the money that we're spending. We're just trying to pass it on so we can all grow together.
We're trying to think of a way to describe this. So, when I was growing up, I was big into math, and I loved algebra. Then I went into trigonometry, and I'm like, is this still math? I didn't get it. It was so beyond me. Yeah. And that's what this was like. It's like we had this, we're cooking along, we got algebra going.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we spent that day learning trigonometry, and we both left there just fried.
Yeah.
There was my hair hurt. It was so painful. So anyway.
Yeah. And then the last thing to talk about is that this week we've also been diving more into our fund research. So we've really laid out the basics of each fund that we want to do. And there's 3 that we're going to be launching and what we want them to look like, how they will kind of interplay with each other in order to benefit the investors and their goals. And I've got those out. And again, over the next 30 days, I'm developing partnerships that will help us with, building these 3 funds. We're structuring them in the way that we just learned in order to make sure that everything is protected in the best way possible so that we can maximize what happens within these funds that are created. And it's just exciting. And it's nice to be in a position where you're just not running fast. You're learning and then doing, hey, let me just take 30 days to go talk to a whole bunch of people that have done this before and just get as much feedback. Because we used to do that very quickly in masterminds. It would be a matter of a week that would get all that research done, and then we would go. And now it's more like, hey, let's take a little bit more time, because the more time we take, the more information that we get, and the more relaxed we are. Especially you and I trying to live a personal life while doing all of this other stuff.
That's right. Because remember, we put the fun in fund. Wink.
Oh my goodness.
Like that. Make sure you're heading over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, and joining our investor club, and we prove to you why that's important today.
Yes.
But make sure you're catching us on Facebook and LinkedIn and all those other places, and hitting the like button because
it's almost Fun Shirt Friday.
Because it's Thursday. Hit the like button. Anyway, we like to end all of our episodes with
Invest Smart.
Live Happy.
Bye, everybody.
Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on this show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.